Good evening, all. Good evening. So now we are starting the second lecture of FEMA. But before starting the second lecture, let's recap whatever we have done on the 25th May. That is first lecture of the FEMA. So let's quickly recap this. What has happened there? First point. So we started the FEMA. The first date for the incorporation for the effectiveness of FEMA. The date is 1st June 2000, right? So that is the effective date of the FEMA Act. The FEMA applies to all of India. The FEMA applies to every branch which is controlled or located in India. The FEMA also applies to any person who belongs to India, and the person committed contravention outside India, on that person also FEMA will apply. That is our first chart. In the next three charts, we completed the definition part, and the most important definition is authorized person. Next is current account transaction. Third is capital account transaction. Next is foreign security. And the most important definition is person resident in India. So we completed that part also, which is prescribed in section 2V of the FEMA Act 1999. Now, under the person resident in India, if you want to identify any person resident in India, that person should comply to conditions, and both conditions are cumulative. So for what is the first condition? The person should reside in India in the preceding financial year. In the preceding financial year, not in the calendar year, for more than 182 days, minimum 183 days, and we need to check in the preceding financial year, right? And the second condition, if the person resident for India for 182 days plus 182 days, then we can call that person as a person resident in India, subject to fulfillment of second condition. And of what the second condition prescribes? It prescribes like the person goes out of India in the current financial year for three purposes, then we can call directly such person as a person resident outside India. And what are the 3 points? First is if he goes outside India for the purpose of employment, for business and vocation. Or third point is for any uncertain time, uncertain matter, uncertain time period, right? Then if all the three conditions are fulfilled or any of the conditions are fulfilled, in that case, person will not be called as a PRII. We can call that person as a PROI. Then we started the current account transaction along with the schedule part, right? Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3. So there are three types of the schedule, and current account transaction prescribed under Section 5 of the FEMA Act 1999. In current account transaction, the current account transaction are those transactions which hit your profit and loss account. Basically, whatever comes in your P&L account of the company, that will fall under the current account transaction. This is the simplest way to remember what transactions will come under this current account transaction. Now, so in current account transaction, four types of transactions law already prescribed in the current account transaction definition and the schedule part. First schedule prescribed 9 types of items which are prohibited. Which are prohibited means you cannot use the foreign exchange, you cannot demand the foreign exchange from the government for the purpose specified in Schedule 1 of the FEMA Act 1999. In current account transaction. For Schedule 2, 7 items are there, 7 to 8 items are there that prescribes like if you want to enter any of these transactions, you need to take the approval of central government. And the most important items are like cultural trip. If you are planning for a cultural trip outside India, then there is no limit prescribed. For 1 rupee, for 1 foreign exchange US dollar, you need to take the approval of central government, right? For print media advertisement, there is a cost like $10,000 up to that limit. For the remittance of P&I club membership and all, for this, that is prohibited, right? Now, third schedule specify the 2 types of that schedule. In fact, third schedule, which is prescribed certain list of items for which foreign exchange is allowed subject to permission of Reserve Bank of India. That provision was divided in 2 parts. First, for facilities for individual, and other than individual means for corporate part, donation and all are covered. For the individual part, they have prescribed 7 types of item, and that 7 types of item you can use cumulatively 2.5 lakh USD dollars And under the scheme called LRS, Liberalized Remittance Scheme, right? LRS scheme. So that was your current account transaction. Then they prescribed under section 6, that is there is called capital account transaction. Now, what are capital account transaction? Obviously, that transaction which alter your assets, liabilities, or contingent liabilities of a PRII, right? Or which hits your balance sheet, that we can then, these items will be called as a capital account transaction. Under this, we have covered the schedule part, certain prohibited items like you cannot invest in the agriculture, real estate, nidhi company, right? Chit fund business, you cannot invest. This is the basic concept of capital account transaction. For two purposes, capital, there is no prohibition. First is amortization of loan, if you can remember this. And second is depreciation of direct investment outside India. For this, there is no restriction for the purpose of withdrawing of the foreign exchange for the purpose of these two capital account transactions. So that was section 6. Now, section 7 talks about the export of goods and services. Export of goods and services means whatever you are exporting, either it's a goods or a services, you need to provide a declaration what amount you are expected to receive from an outsider person, that it needs to be declared in a proper form, or it's a, if it is a software, then there is a form called Softex. If it is other than software, there is a form called SEDF. You need to provide the declaration. However, law has prescribed certain kind of exemption from declaration. The most important part is like trade sample and all. Gift of INR up to 5 lakh rupees, there is no kind of declaration is required. So that was your section number 7. Then we move towards the section number 11, that is called authorized person. What are the duties of authorized person? What are the powers of authorized person? What are the in what situations RBI can revoke the authorization issued to the authorized person? Authorized person needs to maintain the documents, maintain the genuineness, for what purposes they have used this amount. So after the authorized person, next section starts with the section number 16, and section 16 talks about the penalty, adjudication, special director appeals. These all provision will start from here on. So can we start this concept? Can we start this concept? Then we will see some MCQs also. MCQs along with some other questions, practical question. So can we start this section 16? Section 16. Okay, Janvi Agarwal, perfect. Okay, Janvi, let's start. Right. So section 16 talks about the adjudication. Now, what is the process of adjudication? What is the meaning of adjudication? It means that what if a person has committed some kind of contravention of any act, provision, rules, regulations as issued by the RBI. In that case, that contravention should be adjudicated by the proper person, proper authority. They will decide like what punishment which will be imposed on such person who has committed such kind of default. So adjudication is a process. This is a process by which a contravention of any provision, if any person has committed a contravention of any provision, or contravention of act, that is called FEMA Act, current account transaction rules or regulations or notification, as the case may be, means if you have contravened any of the act, rules, regulations, provision, notification, circular, any of the rules issued by any of the law issued by the RBI or any authority, then that should be dealt by the appropriate adjudicating authority. And for this purpose of adjudicating, the main authority is central government have the power to appoint the adjudicating authority. What is the purpose behind this appointment? So law has clearly specified that authority will hold the inquiry. That inquiry will be conducted as per prescribed under the act or the rules. So first point is, Biraj, good evening. So first point is adjudication. So adjudication is a process through which contravention, if any person has committed a contravention of the act, rules, regulations, notifications, that should be dealt with by the proper authority, and that proper authority will hold the inquiry as per the law. Certain duties are cast on the person. That person means adjudicating authority. It should dispose of the complaint within 1 year from the date of its receipt. Right. So law has imposed some time limit on the adjudicating authority that you need to complete the whole proceeding, whole inquiry, whole each and everything within a 1 year of time. And 1 year will start from the date of its receipt. If by any reason that is not completed, so you need to provide the reason why you have not completed the whole process, whole dispose of the complaint within 1 year. You need to provide the reasons. Now, before disposing the complaint, government means adjudicating authority will provide opportunity of being heard to the person against whom they are listening this complaint. So this is your first chart. So first chart, what is important is 1 year. You need to dispose of the complaint, whatever you have received for the contravention of act, rules, regulations. You need to dispose of that complaint within 1 year, right? So I think so first chart is complete. First chart is complete. Is there any doubt in the first chart? Is there any doubt in first chart? No. Okay. Now move towards the second chart. Now the whole provision applies. Penalties provided under FEMA for contravention of the provision of this act means if any person has committed any offense, in that case, certain penalties are prescribed for the provision of this act. Now this is going to be the important part. When penalty will be levied in the following cases, so law has clearly specified if any person contravenes any provision, rule, regulation, order under this act or any condition to which subject to authorization is issued by the Reserve Bank of India, means such person has contravened the provision. Yes. In that case, what is the amount of penalty? So law has clearly specified amount of penalty is depends on the amount of contravention. Like how much amount is involved behind this contravention. So if that amount of contravention is identified, penalty will be levied up to the 3 times of the sum involved. Say for example, the person has committed, that authorized person has committed a contravention of 1 lakh rupees. So what is the penalty amount? It will be up to 3 lakh rupees. Or if it is not identified, then 2 lakhs may be levied, right? This is the important point. If it is amount of contravention is identified, yes, then there is a penalty of 3 lakh rupees, means 3 times of the amount involved. And if the contravention amount is not identified, then there is a penalty. That fixed penalty means up to 2 lakh rupees will be levied. Next. In any case, if the contravention is continuing one, then further penalty up to 5,000 rupees per day will be levied. This is the important point. So what is the penalty amount? Penalty is if the amount of contravention, penalty will depend upon the amount of contravention. If the amount of contravention is identified, then 3 times of the amount involved. If it is not identified, then 2 lakh rupees. If the person continues to commit the default again, then there is a penalty of 5,000 rupees per day on the defaulting person. I think so. Penalty amount is clear. Penalty amount is clear. Raj? Penalty amount is clear. You need to remember this penalty amount. Okay. Other consequences of contravention. What are the other consequences of contravention? And this is going to be the important. Authorized authority means authorized person, means adjudicating authority. AA, we can call as a AA, may issue following directions also. Now, first point is they will issue a direction for confiscation of currency. If any provision of the act is contravened, in that case, they will issue a direction for the confiscation of currency. This is the first point. They will issue a direction relating to foreign exchange holding brought back into India. Suppose, for example, if the foreign exchange belongs to a person who is a resident outside India, right? In that case, they will issue a direction that foreign exchange should be brought into India. Or if the foreign exchange is not able to brought to India, then he can issue a direction like you can retain that foreign exchange as a trustee as per the directions of double A. Double A means educating authority, right? So this is going to be the important. So first point is confiscation of currency. If it is feasible, we can confiscate that currency, which involves the contravention part. Second point, they can issue direction relating to the foreign exchange holding, like that foreign exchange should be brought back into India, or that should be retained outside India if that foreign exchange was kept by a person who is a person resident outside India, and that should be directions of the double A. Double A means educating authority. So I think so. Second chart is also clear. Second chart is also clear. Okay, so after this third chart, we will go to the theory part from our study material. Okay, so third chart is person. On this person, we impose a penalty, say for example, rupees 2 lakh rupees. Now, what is the consequences if that person fails to pay the penalty amount? Is there any consequences? Yes, we will impose a imprisonment. If any person fails to make the full payment of the penalty imposed on him, the duration is prescribed within 90 days from the date of his service. From the date of his service of notice, liable for civil imprisonment. Now, accordingly, imprisonment will get increased depend on the amount of contravention. If the demand raised, it means the amount of contravention in the penalty. If the penalty order exceed rupees 1 crore, then imprisonment can be up to 3 years. In any other case, means if the penalty order less than 1 crore, then imprisonment up to 6 months can be imposed on the defaulting person in case he fails to pay the penalty amount. And suppose, for example, if he paid that amount, we need to release the defaulter forthwith. This is the concept of consequences of failure to pay the penalty amount. Section number 14 is there. I think so. All the three charts are crystal clear. First chart talks about the educating authority part. Government has a power, central government has a power to appoint an educating authority for the purpose of conducting inquiry. In the second part of the first chart talks about like you need to dispose of the complaint within what time. So that is 1 year from the date of notice, from the date of default. If it is not get resolved, then in that case, you need to mention the reason why. And for this, opportunity of being heard is provided to the defaulting person, right? What is the penalty amount can be levied? So law has clearly specified if the amount of contravention is identified up to 3 times. If the amount of contravention is not identified, up to 2 lakh rupees can be imposed as a penalty amount. Now, if the person fails to pay the penalty amount, if the person fails to pay the penalty amount, that person should pay the penalty amount within 90 days. If the penalty amount is up to or more than 1 crore rupees, then the imprisonment can be extended up to 3 years. In any other case, the imprisonment will be of up to 6 months only. And what is the release of defaulter? So law has clearly, if the amount is paid by the person, that contravention amount, that he can release the defaulter forthwith, right? Now move towards this part in our study material. Okay, so study material, you have your page number on. This is your capital account transaction. This is your ECB. Okay. This is your export of goods and services, and this is your adjudication part, authorized person. Okay, so contravention part, this is done. Okay, so these are the certain contravention which is specified here. So let's start the adjudication part. And adjudicating. So what is the contravention? That authorized person, section 11 contravention is prescribed. Section 13, if a person has contravened anything, then if the amount of the contravention is quantifiable, penalty will be 3 times. If the amount of the If the amount is not quantifiable, then there is a penalty up to 2 lakh rupees. And in case of continuing failure, 5,000 rupees is the penalty amount, right? So that is same penalty amount, that 3 times of the sum involved. And section 14 talks about where the demand is exceeding 1 crore rupees, imprisonment up to 3 years, in any other case up to 6 months. Now read the theory part. Any adjudicating authority adjudging any contravention under section 30 may deem fit addition to the penalty. He can order that any currency, security, other money, property in which contravention takes place shall be confiscated. These are the other types of contravention which is prescribed in chart only, second chart, to the central government. Further direct that the foreign exchange, you can keep the foreign exchange with you, you can return back the foreign exchange to brought back to India, or you can retain as per the direction issued by this in this behalf. Now, enforcement of order of AA. If a person fails to make the full payment of penalty imposed under section 13, how many days? Within 90 days, then he is liable for a civil imprisonment. Shall be liable for a purpose of civil imprisonment for this default. Order of arrest, detention in civil imprison. No order for arrest or detention in civil imprison or the defaulter unless the AA has served a notice. They need to provide a notice upon the defaulter, calling him to appear before him, means opportunity of being heard you need to provide. To show cause why he should not committed to a civil prison, means we cannot impose unless the opportunity of being heard is provided, unless the AA for reasons in writing satisfied that the defaulter with the object or effect of obstructing the recovery of penalty has, after the issue of notice by the AA, dishonestly transferred, concealed, removed any part of the property, right? This is the issue. And second part, that the defaulter has or has had, since the issuing of notice by the AA, the means to pay the arrear or any subsequent part thereof, refuses or neglected has refuses to pay the same amount. In that case, warrant will be issued for the arrest of the person. If the AA is satisfied, AA means adjudicating authority is satisfied by affidavit or otherwise that the object, effect of delaying the execution of the certificate, defaulter is likely to abscond, means he can leave the India also. Leave the local limits of the jurisdiction of AA. In that case, they will issue a warrant also. Notice, okay. And this is the basic principle. Every person so arrested should be in any event within 24 hours of he should be presented before the magistrate. This is the basic concept. Every person arrested in persons of arrest shall be brought before the adjudicating authority, issuing the warrant as soon as practicable in any event within 24 hours of his arrest, and that journey time should be excluded. Provided that if the defaulter pays the amount entered in the warrant of arrest, then we need to release as soon as possible. In case of default by HUF, Karta. Who is a Karta? Karta is the main person. Karta shall be deemed to be the defaulter person. Where a defaulter appears before the AA pursuant to notice, the AA shall give the defaulter an opportunity showing cause why he should not commit it to a civil imprisonment, why we will not impose the imprisonment part. In case of pending, good Viraj. Right? In case of pending of an inquiry, the AA may, in its discretion, order a defaulter to be detained in the custody of such officer, AA, upon the conclusion. If he is ready to pay, then we can release. Otherwise, not. Right? So this is your overall concept, and this is your concept. Every person detained in civil imprisonment up to the amount more than 1 crore rupees, then there is an imprisonment of 3 years. Otherwise, there is an imprisonment of 6 months only. Right? So that is overall the concept of recovery part, that in what manner they can recover the. Now, an officer, power to recover arrears of penalty, section 14A. An officer of enforcement to recover any arrear of penalty The AA may by order in writing authorize an officer of enforcement not below the assistant director to recover any area of penalty from any person who fails to make the full payment of the penalty as prescribed under section 13. So who is authorized? Not below the rank of assistant director. That should be authorized by the AA for the purpose of recovery, right? Power, the order of the enforcement shall exercise all the like power which are concerned on the income tax authority in relation to, means the person who is not below the rank of assistant director, he has same power, whatever power was given to the income tax officer in case of recovery of arrear of recoveries, right? So that was your section number consequences penalties part, right? Now the start the penalty appeal part and provision in respect of enforcement of the adjudicating authority. Section 14 and 16 FEMA Adjudication Proceeding Appeal Rules 2000. First chart. Central government will authorize any person. I think so till this chart, all the charts, 3 charts of adjudicating authority, all 3 are clear. All 3 are very crystal clear. First chart talk about the disposal of complaint, that is 1 year. Second chart talks about the you need to pay the amount of penalty. Amount is identified, then 3 times. If it is not identified, then 2 times, that 2 lakh rupees. In case of continuing failure, 5,000 rupees is the penalty amount. And third chart deals with the if a person fails to pay the penalty amount, in that case, what is the problem? So that person will be person will be liable for imprisonment if the amount demand raised up to which amount? Up to 1 crore rupees. Then this imprisonment up to 3 years, otherwise 6 months, right? Okay. Now go towards the next chart. Okay, let's just recover some old memories, right, of FEMA. Okay, so in between of this procedure, we will do some questions, some important questions, some MCQ type questions. Like, okay, so first objective, can we do the MCQ part a little bit so that we can recall the previous also? Can we do the this one MCQ part? 4 to 5 MCQ we will take one by one. Okay, fine. So first is not at all important. Third is important little bit. The act applies to statement 1, whole of India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Second statement, all branches, offices, agencies outside India owned or controlled by a person resident in India. And these MCQs will clarify all the things related to the FEMA, right? And statement 3, any contravention committed outside India by the person to whom this act apply. Now, so there are 4 options. A, only one of the above statement is incorrect. Sorry, is correct. Only 2 of the statement is correct. All the above 3 statements are correct. None of the statements is correct. None of the statement. Yes. So which one is A, B, C, D? Correct answer is A, B, C, D. Which one? Option C. Option C. Perfect. Yeah. Good. Okay. And this is also. The act came into force on 1st May 1999, 1st June 1999, 1st October 1999, 1st June 2000. Kindly mention the question number also, right? Question 4, A, B, C, D. Now you can recall like why I revised the FEMA Act, what we have done, right? So it's not question number 4, yeah. We will take important questions, right? Question number 4. So which is the correct answer? Which one? A, B, C, or D? Question 4. Question 4. Correct answer is question 4. Correct answer is D. Option B, Janvi. Option B is not correct, right? 1st June 1999 is not the correct. 1st June 2000 is the correct one. Okay, I think so. Now it is clear, right? At the effective date, if you can recall the first chart of our, the first line specific talks about like effective date is 1st June 2000. Janvi, this is right? Okay. Next is authorized person means question number 5. What authorized person means? Authorized dealer, money changer, offshore banking unit, all of these, right? Even I can answer this one. This is the simplest one. Perfect, Mansa. Okay, so question number 5. The correct answer is question number 5. Correct answer is question number 5. Correct answer is D. Yes, everybody knows, right? Now move towards the this one. Okay. Question number 7. A transaction shall be a capital account transaction if it alter the assets, liabilities in India of a person resident outside India. B. It alter the assets and liabilities outside India. We are talking about the question number 7, right? Of a person resident in India. It is referred under section 6.3 or either A or B or C. So 7th, what is the answer of question number 7? A, B, C or D? A, B, C or D? Question number 7th. A, B, C or D? Question 7th. Option D. Janvi, you need to mention the question number also. Okay, so I think so Janvi has prescribed the option D for question 7 only. Okay, so D is the correct one. Okay. This is important, right? Okay, now we are moving towards the question number 11. Apply your mind, then think from the mind only. Loan giving by a person to his son residing abroad and who is a person resident outside India for the purpose of his medical treatment is. Now, if you can recall, medical, don't worry, I can confuse also, right? I can teach, then I can confuse also. So for the medical treatment, there is a schedule 3. The person can take up to 2.5 lakh rupees. The person can take up to 2.5 lakh rupees, 2.5 lakh dollars, right? For the purpose of medical treatment. That is, and that fall under the current account transaction, right? Now read the question carefully. Loan giving by a person to his son residing abroad, who is a person resident outside India, for the purpose of his medical treatment, that transaction falls under A, capital account transaction, B, current account transaction, C, either of A or B, or D, none of these. Tell me what is the correct answer of this? 11th B. Parveen. Let's wait for the others. Okay. So what is the correct answer of Janvi? Capital account transaction, Parveen current account transaction. Okay, fantastic. 1:1 ratio. Okay, let's other needs to reply. Don't go by emotions, right? Don't go by emotions. Apply the logic only. So needs to other Pranav 11B, Mansa 11B. Okay. Pranav, what is the correct answer? Viraj, correct answer. Correct answer is capital account transaction. If you can recall, Person has provided a loan. That loan hits the balance sheet. Already I told you in the crux part, whatever item hits your balance sheet, that should fall under the capital account transaction. I think so. 11A is the correct answer. That transaction will fall under the capital account transaction. I paid loan to you, right? I paid what? Loan. And loan will fall on in my case, loan will fall under the concept of this capital account transaction. If I am going for a medical treatment, then that will fall under the current account transaction. Otherwise, that will be a capital account transaction. I think so. Now this is clear, right? So Mansa, right? Now it is clear. So that will fall under the capital account transaction. Now, Pranav, 11C is not possible here, right? It is a capital account transaction only. It is a capital account transaction only. Okay, Purvi. Purvi, now it is clear, right? So 11A is the correct answer, capital account only. Okay, perfect. Now move towards our chart next section. Then we will again back to this one, right? Now, this is your adjudication part, right? This is your adjudication part. So what is the concept? So concept is very simple. Now we can start this. Central government will authorize a person. That person made a complaint in writing, then only AA will start the proceeding, right? Means there is no power prescribed with the AA, like suo motu basis, that there is no concept of suo motu basis, AA can start. Central government will authorize one person will make a complaint to AA, then only AA will start the proceeding part. This is first point. Thank you, Purvi. Next is the first step. What the AA will take? Obviously, they will issue a notice. But under this concept, they have issued the show cause notice word. Now, show cause notice means for determining whether the contravention made or not. AA will send a show cause notice why the inquiry should not be held against you, against him. Means we are asking from the defaulter person why the inquiry should not be held against you. So that is called show cause notice, question mark. Plus we will mention whatever nature of contravention committed, that person, the defaulting person needs to reply within 10 days. Right? But that person will reply within 10 days. I think so. First 2 points of this charts are complete. We will do MCQ also in between of this one, right? First point talks about the AA does not have any suo motu power to start the proceeding. Central government will authorize a person, that person will make a complaint, then only AA will start the proceeding part. For this, what is the first step? AA will issue a show cause notice to the defaulting person. In that show cause notice, we will ask the question, why the inquiry should not be held against you? Why don't we will start the inquiry against you? So you need to provide that why. Along with this, we will mention the nature of contravention committed. That person should reply within 10 days. Right? This is the concept. Now, AA will issue a notice. He will fix a date, time for the purpose of hearing. The accused person may appear himself. The person may appear himself or by any lawyer or a CA. They fixed authorized person means AA will explain to the accused person whatever contravention he has committed, and we need to provide a principle of natural justice, that is called opportunity of being heard. We need to provide, right? So this is the concept. This is the first point. Like they will issue a notice. They will fix a date, time for the purpose of hearing. He can appear himself. He can appear via lawyer, via CA also. On this date, we will explain what is the procedure part. Now, The powers given to the double A with respect to the inquiry, law has prescribed you have the same power what the CPC, Civil Procedure Code, Civil Court having. If the person fails to appear, double A can give ex parte decision also. Ex parte decision means you are that different that what we can say defendant is defendant means opposite party, next party. I think so. First chart is clear. First chart is clear with respect to section 14 and 16. First chart is clear. So what is the important point? Person needs to reply within 10 days. Complaint needs to dispose of within 1 year. And they have the same power what the civil court has. Right? Civil court means high court. With respect to the inquiry part, if the person fails to give any reply, then the double A can decide ex parte also. Right? So this is your first chart. I think so. There is no doubt in the first chart. Let me know in case of any doubt. Purvi, Pranav, Mansa, Janvi. Okay. So first chart is clear. Now we move towards the second chart. Order levying penalty. After considering the evidence produced before the double A, after considering the evidence produced before the double A, provided that committed the contravention, then they will impose such penalty. Right? After whatever evidence are coming, they can consider the evidence. We need to produce before the double A, and provided that, and after going through the document, if the decision is made in the mind of the double A that contravention has been committed, then they will impose the penalty part. Every order, whatever order is passed by the double A, that should be dated, that should be signed by the double A. Perfect. And a copy of the order should be supplied free of cost without any charge. Upon the detention of defaulter on conclusion of inquiry, there may be the case we can detain the defaulter also. Upon the conclusion of the inquiry, double A may make an order for the detention of the defaulter. Adjudicating authority leave the defendant in the custody of the officer not exceeding 16 days, or we can release the person also by if he furnish any kind of security and that is satisfied by the double A, right? Then we can release also. So there is a leave the custody in the custody of the officer not exceeding maximum 15 days and release him on furnishing security for satisfaction of double A, right? So this is the important point. So this is your second chart of enforcement part. Viraj, okay, no issue. 3 minutes 30 seconds you late joined, right? No issues. Okay, so that was your second chart. I think so. There is no problem in second chart, and third chart is altogether different. So these are the two charts deals with this enforcement part. Let's move towards the module. Compounding offenses we will do now only. Okay, so this is your appointment of adjudicating authority. Government will appoint. Okay. Appointment of adjudicating authority, section number 13 is there. We already gone through. Central government will appoint adjudicating authority for the purpose of holding any inquiry, right? Opportunity of being heard before imposing any kind of penalty, provided that double A is of the opinion that the said person liable to abscond or in any manner the payment of penalty, if any levied, then that person should provide a bond or a guarantee also. Writing, they will do the inquiry. They need to dispose of the whole complaint within 1 year. Concept is very simple. Okay. So till this is your enforcement part. This is your enforcement part. Okay. Now, this is going to be the important part. Appeal with the appellate tribunal and special director appeals. Appeal to High Court, then appeal to Supreme Court, right? So there are 4 types of appellate authority. Let's complete one by one. Okay, so can we start the appellate part? Examiner can ask a question from this also. Can we start the appellate part? Can we start? Appeal part? Because next 3 charts are going to be the important one. So can we start? Okay. So under this appeal, there are 2 types of authority. First is special director appeals and second is appellate tribunal. Right? First is special director appeals. Second is appellate tribunal, right? If you can check, this is your first authority to whom you can make an appeal, and this is your second appellate authority. This is mentioned here. Okay. Then High Court and then Supreme Court. Now we are reading towards the special director appeals part. Special director appeal, central government shall appoint one or more special director appeals. Now, what is the purpose behind their appointment? To hear the appeals against the order of AA. If any person is not satisfied from the order of AA, suppose AA has imposed a penalty of 2 lakh rupees and there is on default of penalty, they impose a imprisonment also. Now we need to challenge the order of AA, so we can make an application to the special director appeals. Central government shall specify the jurisdiction of special director appeals. Now the important point: no time limit has been prescribed for the disposal of appeal by special director appeals. Right. So AA has a power that they need to dispose of the case within 1 year. In the case of special director appeals, no time limit is prescribed. If any person is aggrieved means dukhi atma, right? If any person is aggrieved by the order of AA, he can prefer an appeal to special director appeals. If any person is aggrieved by the decision by the order of the AA, then he can make an appeal to special director appeals. I think so. Till this is clear, right? When can appeal be filed? Now this is going to be the important. This is important, right? If the adjudicating authority deciding any case and he is acting in the capacity of assistant director of enforcement or deputy directorate of enforcement, again I am going to repeat. When you can file the appeal to the special director, so law has prescribed when the adjudicating authority decide any case and he is acting in the capacity of assistant directorate of enforcement, deputy directorate of enforcement, in that case you can make an appeal to special director appeals. It means if the adjudicating authority is acting above this capacity, assistant, deputy, he can above this capacity. In that case, you cannot file the application to special director. You need to approach to AA. AA means appellate authority. Second appellate authority, we will see this also. Okay. Order of special director appeal. A special director may pass such order, may confirm, set aside, opportunity of being heard, provide, send a copy of every order to all the parties. An appeal shall be filed within 45 days from the order of AA. If sufficient cause shown, then they can extend the time limit also. What time they can extend, that is not prescribed by the law. Say, for example, you are late by for 2 days or 5 days or 7 days, then for sufficient reason, they can extend that time also. Right. So this is your special director appeals. Right. When can you file the application to the appeal to the special director appeals? If the AA is acting in the capacity of assistant directorate of enforcement or deputy directorate of enforcement, in that case, you can file the application to the special director appeals. Right? This is clear. What is the time limit for filing? 45 days. What is the time limit for disposing the appeal by the Special Director Appeals? No time limit is prescribed. Time limit is prescribed for AA, that is 1 year from the date of the complaint. Okay, so now this is clear, I think so. Special Director Appeals is clear. Special Director Appeals is clear. Who will file a Special Director Appeals? Any person aggrieved by the order of AA. When can appeal be filed to Special Director Appeals? When the AA is acting in the capacity of Assistant Director of Enforcement or Deputy Directorate of Enforcement. If the person is acting, if the AA is acting above this capacity, in that case, we will go to the appellate authority. Next authority we are going to start. Okay. So now this is clear. Perfect, Purvi. Okay. So before going towards this, we can start from module also. Central government shall by notification appoint one or more Special Director Appeals to hear appeals against the order of AA under this section, and shall also specify in the said notification the matter and the places in relation to which the Special Director Appeal may exercise jurisdiction. So Namrata, this is quite simple. Like government will appoint a Special Director Appeals. What is the purpose of appointing a Special Director Appeals? So Special Director can hear the if any person is aggrieved by the decision of AA means adjudicating authority, then he can make an application for the purpose of appeal before the Special Director Appeals within 45 days from the date of the order of AA. Right? And this is going to be important. AA is acting in the capacity of Assistant Directorate of Enforcement, Assistant Directorate of Enforcement, Deputy Directorate of Enforcement. Then only we can file an appeal to Special Director Appeals within 45 days from the order of this AA. And what is the time limit under which he needs to dispose of the appeal? There is no time limit. You can take as many as time limit as specified. Okay. Second point. Any person aggrieved by the order made by the AA may prefer an appeal to being an Assistant Director of Enforcement or Deputy Directorate of Enforcement may prefer an appeal to Special Director Appeals. Every appeal shall be filed within 45 days. Pranav, it's clear only or crystal clear? Every appeal should be filed within 45 days from the date on which the copy of order made by the AA. The Special Director can extend this duration also if sufficient reason is available. Now, so that was your Special Director Appeals. Now, appeal with the appellate tribunal. I think so. Now this is clear, right? Now this is clear. Okay. Okay. Let's start some MCQs. Let's again energize yourself. Okay. Question number 13, MCQ part. Question number 13. Payment of expenses in connection with foreign travel, education, medical care of parents, spouse, children amounts to: first, capital account transaction; second, current account transaction; C, either A or B; D, none of these. More than crystal clear. Perfect, Pranav bhai. Yes, question number 13. Question number 13 MCQ. Payment of expenses in connection with foreign travel, education, medical care of spouse, children, parents amounting to the transaction will fall under which? Capital account transaction limit, current account transaction, either A or B or none of these. 13 B. Everyone is correct. Perfect. सबने आंसर देख लिया. Next is yes. Question number 15. Payment due. Now again, remember the thing, right? Payment due as interest on loan. Income from investment will fall under A, capital account transaction; B, current account transaction; C, either A or B; D, none of these. Payment due as interest on loan or net income from investment, that will fall under where? Capital account transaction, current account transaction, either A or B, none of these. That is not too much difficult. Okay, so 15th is B, 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 B. Everyone is correct. Perfect. सबने आंसर लगता है फिर से देख लिया, right? No issues. Okay. Okay, 16th is simple one also, right? Statement 16th is statement 1. Export means taking out of India to a place outside India any goods. B statement. Export means provision of services from India to any person. Your charts, each and every line are separate. Okay. Statement 2. Purvi, okay. Statement 2, export means provision of services from India to any person outside India, which is correct, right? Only statement 1 is correct. Only statement 2 is correct. If you can recall section 7, if you can recall the definition of export, you can answer this one, right? C, both these statements are correct. D, none of these statements are correct. No, sir. अच्छा आंसर नहीं देखा, then also correct. Okay, so 16C, both. Why? Perfect. Let's take some difficult one, right? Okay, now this is important. This is quite difficult. Question number 17. Where redemption or any form of return such as interest, dividend is payable in Indian currency, but security is denominated in foreign currency, that security, remember, dividend you are getting in Indian currency and security was issued in foreign currency, that security we can call as a Indian security A, foreign security B, C any of these, D none of these. 17B, Janvi, perfect. Okay, so that is foreign security. Basically, the whole the definition got shuffled, right? That security is issued in the foreign currency, dividend redemption is payable in Indian currency. Okay, so I think so 17B is correct. Everyone agrees? Or is there any different views? Foreign security 7B. Perfect, Mansa. Perfect, Pranab Bhai. Okay. Okay. So question number 18 is there. Statement 1. An individual who does not reside for more than 182 days in the preceding financial year shall not be a person resident in India, irrespective of the purpose, duration of his stay in India during the current relevant financial year. This is your statement. Now, statement 1, read carefully, right? That is a different type of. Okay. And statement 2 is citizenship is not relevant for determining the status of any person. So, which is correct? Which is correct? Which is correct? Both the statements are correct. Only one statement is correct. The only second statement is correct. Both the statements are wrong. Read carefully, right? Read carefully. Read carefully. Mansa, okay. Namrata, okay. Let's other needs to provide your answer, then we will disclose. Read carefully. A, B, C, D. Which is correct? A, B, C, D, which is correct? Perfect. I think so. All are correct. पता नहीं आज क्या हो गया. Perfect. Right? C is correct. Okay. Okay. This is your good one. While determining as to whether a person is a PRII or not, the period for which he has resided in India is to be considered in the current financial year, current calendar year, preceding financial year, preceding calendar year, right? Which one is correct? Which one is correct? Question 19. Question 19. Which one is correct? For identifying if any person is a PRIA or not, we need to check 182 plus days in which financial year? A, current financial year. B, current calendar year. C, preceding financial year. D, preceding calendar year. Purvi, question number 19. We need to identify the person as a PRIA or not. So for this, we need to go to the definition of PRII. In the first condition, it talks about the person should be resided in India for in the previous dash year for more than 182 plus days. So that is what? Current financial year, we need to check 182 plus days. Current calendar year and financial year both are different, right? I think so. Everyone is aware of that fact. Preceding financial year or preceding calendar year. So Pranav, Mansa, Purvi, all are incorrect. That is C. Namrata is correct. Now, Namrata is also sorry. Pranav, Mansa, Purvi, all are correct, right? Namrata is incorrect. It is preceding financial year. You need to remember each and everything from MCQ part also, right? It's preceding financial year. So correct answer is 19C. So Pranav, Mansa, Purvi, all are correct. Namrata, you need to check again. Okay. Next take. Now let's start the provision part. Okay. Go to the charts. Then we will again back to this MCQ part. So can we start again? Appeal with the appellate tribunal. Appeal with the appellate tribunal. Appeal with appellate tribunal. We will do intermittent vacancy is there, right? Moment director now. Amazing. Okay, fine. So let's start again. So appeal with appellate tribunal. In the first topic, we go to the special director appeals. So what is the concept? If any person is aggrieved by AA, he can make appeal to special director appeals within 45 days. What is the time limit for disposal? No time limit is prescribed. You can take your time. No issues at all. Now, when you can file the appeal to special director appeals, law has prescribed that AA is acting in the capacity of Assistant Directorate of Enforcement, Deputy Directorate of Enforcement, and he ordered to the person is aggrieved, and now he can file to the special director appeals. Now the provision starts. Appeal with appellate tribunal, right? Establishment. Central government shall appoint the appellate tribunal to hear the appeal against the order of adjudicating authority, means AA. And special director appeals means what? There is a concept of appellate tribunal. So the person is also not satisfied from special director. He can go to AT. And if AA is providing his order other than these two capacities, then also he can make appeal directly to the AT. Directly to the AT. I think so. This concept is clear. This concept is clear or not? This concept is clear or not? Special director appeals. There are two possible causes where you can file an appeal to AT. First point is, person is not satisfied from special director appeals, he can go to the AT. This is the first point. Second point, AA has provided his order other than the capacity of Assistant Directorate of Enforcement, other than the capacity of Deputy Directorate of Enforcement, then also such person can directly make an appeal to appellate tribunal. Clear? Purvi, clear. Perfect. Pranav bhai, clear. Perfect. 9. Right? So central government shall appoint an appellate tribunal to hear appeal against the order of AA and special director appeals. Now there should not be any confusion. Like you can apply against the order of AA to special director to AT. No, both are different, right? Okay. Who can prefer an appeal? Central government. Any person agreed may apply to appeal before the AT. Right of legal assistance. The application may either appeal. The applicant take the assistance of a legal practitioner or a CA. You can take the help of this person also. Now, this chart is clear or not? This chart is clear or not? Again, I'm going to write something else. So, in that case, person is not satisfied from AA, and AA has provided in the capacity of assistant directorate, deputy directorate. So, person applied to special director, that is first appeal. And if the person is again not satisfied from a special director, then he can apply to AT. So that is, so for this appeal that is coming from the special director route, that we can call as a, under this power, there is called revisionary power. And here directly that appeal is coming to the AT, that is called original jurisdiction. We have used the two words, revisionary jurisdiction or original jurisdiction. Revisionary jurisdiction. Revisionary means you can revise the order of SB, and here you can directly provide the answer. Right? So this is the two word they have used. The appellate authority is the second appellate second appellate appeal. They have a original jurisdiction and they have a revisionary jurisdiction. If appeal is coming from directly AA, then in that matter they have a original jurisdiction. If appeal is coming from special director appeals, then they have a revisionary jurisdiction. Deposit of penalty. While filing an appeal, you need to deposit certain amount with the central government. However, tribunal have a power, they can dispense from this requirement also. I think so till this is clear, right? Order of appellate tribunal can order as it thinks fit, opportunity of being heard, provide copy of the order made to the parties. This is the concept, order of appellate tribunal. Time limit for disposal of appeal within 180 days from the date of filing the appeal. No, you need to provide the reasons. Now, again, go towards the chart. This chart is going to be the important, right? AA, there is a time for, let's take the different pen, orange pen or gray pen we can take, right? For disposal, there is a time limit of 1 year. For special director, there is a no time limit. And for AT, there is a time limit of 180 days. I told you this chart is going to be the important one, right? Gray, through gray pen, we denoted the time limit with they need to complete the decision, right? So for AA, there is a time 1 year. Is prescribed for disposal of complaint. Special director, there is no time limit prescribed. And for AT, there is a 180 days time period prescribed. I think so till this concept is clear, right? Till this concept is clear, there is no problem. Till this concept is clear, there is no problem, I think so. Is there any problem? Okay, no problem. So what is the time limit for disposal of appeal? Within, sir, there is a time limit for disposal for all authority. Why there is no time limit for special director? What is the reason behind not imposing the time limit for special director? because he need to investigate the case, right? And that special director especially create for this act, for this FEMA. So I think so that may be the reason they have not provided any time limit to decide the case for special director, right? Otherwise, there is a time limit for every authority. Okay, so that is your section number 19. Okay, so let's start from this module part. Appeal to appellate tribunal, there is a section 18. The appellate tribunal constituted under, there is an act called smuggling. Right, Smuggling and Foreign Exchange Manipulators for Forfeiture of Property Act 1976, SFEMA, shall be the appellate tribunal for the purpose of this act. Just a minute, I will take your time for photo of this one, right? Just wait, we can incorporate High Court also. Then you can take a photo. Central government or any person aggrieved by an order made by the AA, other than those referred in section 17, the special director may prefer an appeal to appellate tribunal. Every appeal shall be filed within 45 days, right? Along with the from the date on which the copy of the order was made by the AA, special director received with agreed with central government, wherein an appeal could not be disposed of within the set period of 180 days, the AT shall record its reasons for not disposing the appeal. Okay, so that is your appeal with AT. Okay, now next is appeal to High Court. Appeal to High Court. Right? Now, moving towards the appeal to High Court, let's again go to back our chart. If any person is again not satisfied from AT, then he can approach to High Court within 60 days. Right? If a person is not satisfied from AT, then he can again go to the High Court within 60 days. And again, there is no time limit is prescribed for the disposal of this case. Sir, an exam can we write as a 180 means 180 means 180 days you can write, or we have to use in the words only. No, you can use 180, 180 also. Okay. AT has to provide reasons to the central government. Reasons regarding what? Reasons with respect to disposal. Yes, Purvi, you can write 4545 also. That is there is no problem in examination part, right? You can write 180, 45, no issues at all. From the date of the decision of AT, right, High Court, the appeal to High Court lies only if the decision or order appealed against has been passed by the AT. It means if any order is passed by the special director appeals, you cannot go to the High Court. First, you need to approach to the AT. And this is going to be the important. Appeal is to be filed on question of law, not on question of fact. High Court will not entertain if you file any appeal on the question of fact. Now, what is question of law? What is question of fact? Say, for example, you have before this appellate tribunal, you provided 3 reasons for allowing the appeal. And you are not satisfied with the decision of AT. Now you are planning to approach to the High Court with the 4th reason also. You need to insert a new reason before the High Court. So that is called question of fact. What is question of law? Question of law means there is a decision settled by the Supreme Court that needs to be referred by the High Court. That is a question of law. There is a retrospective amendment in the law that will fall under the concept of question of law, right? So that only High Court can entertain your appeal only on question of law. They are not going to entertain any appeal on question of fact. Perfect. Okay. Time limit for appeal, 60 days from the date of communication of decision. Sufficient time, further 60 days. Who can file the appeal? Appeal by central government or appeal by defaulting party. Accused means aggrieved party also. And Under the appeal to Supreme Court, so there is no concept of Supreme Court appeal under the FEMA. However, you can go to the Constitution part. Constitution of India, there is an article called 136(1). A person can apply commonly to the Supreme Court. Right? So this is your appeal to Supreme Court part. This is the appeal to Supreme Court part. Right? Appeal to Supreme Court. I think so. Now you can take, if anyone wants to take a pick of this, you can take. Right? So this is your overall appellate part. First, you need to approach to AA, then Special Director Appeals, then AT, then High Court. Purvi, you can take pick of this. I think so. Now it is done. High Court, Supreme Court, Special Director Appeals, Appellate Tribunal, AA. Then that whole concept is clear. You can take pick of this on this also. Okay. Perfect, Purvi. Okay. So that is your concept appeal with the appellate tribunal, appeal to High Court that we completed part, right? Okay. So go to the ICI study material and go to High Court part. There is a section called 35 is there. Any person aggrieved by any decision or order of the AT may file an appeal to the High Court within 60 days. Further time can be provided by the High Court, further time not exceeding 60 days. Pranav, crystal clear explanation. In the High Court means within the jurisdiction of which aggrieved party ordinarily resides or carrying on business, personally work for gain. This is the basic concept. Within whom jurisdiction, within which court you can file the case. Where the central government is the aggrieved party, the High Court within the jurisdiction of which the respondent, or in a case where there are more than one respondent, any of the respondent ordinarily resides or carrying on business or personally work for gain. So that is our appellate part which we have completed. Okay. So is there any problem till whatever we have completed? If you have any problem, you can let me know. Is there any problem? Appeal to AA, appeal to Special Director Appeals, appeal to High Court, appeal to Supreme Court. Till whatever we have done, is there any problem under these concepts? Any doubt, any silly doubt also? So there is no doubt, right? Okay, so we will do one thing. We will take a break. We will take a break of 10 minutes and we will resume by 7:30. Perfectly clear. You made it so easy. Okay. Thank you, Purvi. Thank you, Pranav. Okay. So we will take a break of 10 minutes. Then we will start the MCQ part. Further belongs to that part only. And then we will go towards the next part and next small concept. Then we will have a topic of import of goods and services. That was in our agenda for today's lecture, right? So we will back by 10 minutes only. 7:30 sharp. For the relief before the AT. Now, you are not satisfied with the decision of AT. Now you want to approach to the High Court. So law has prescribed you cannot add a fourth point also as a new evidence or as a fourth point before the High Court. That will fall, that is question of fact. And that is not allowed before the High Court. However, High Court can entertain on question of law. Now, what is question of law? Retrospective amendment by the law. Yesterday only for example, some law has been retrospectively amended by the finance ministry or some else ministry. So that will fall under the question of law. Now you can challenge your decision on to the High Court, right? Now, what are other examples of High Court? Suppose, for example, there is a decision settled by any Supreme Court that will fall under the concept of question of law. So that is question of law, question of fact concept. Namrata, now it is clear, I think so. Right? Difference between question of law and question of fact. Question of law and question of fact. Okay, fine. If you have any doubt, you can again request someone doubts in this portal only. Okay. So we will back by 7:30. So till then you can collect your doubts. Let's have some water and all, and we will resume by 7:30. Thank you. Okay, fine. Okay, so after completing the all the appellate part is appeal to double A, appeal to High Court, appeal to AT, appeal to Special Director Appeal, and there is no concept to appeal to Supreme Court under the FEMA. For this, you need to take the help of the Constitution of India, Article 136, sub-article 1, right? Okay. So before starting anything new, first go to the MCQ part. Okay, so that was our question. Okay. Now take a next question. Okay. Question number 28. So question number 28, no person shall deal or transfer any foreign exchange, foreign security to any person not being a authorized person, a person resident in India, a person resident outside India, and all of these, right? So which is the correct one? 28th question. 28th question. A, B, C, D. Section 3. These MCQs belongs to section 3 only. Section 3. A, B, C, D. Question number 28. Which one is correct? No person shall deal in or transfer any foreign exchange, foreign security to any person not being an authorized person, person resident in India, person resident outside India, or none, all of these. So which one is correct? Which one is correct? A, perfect, right? Authorized person only. Okay, so question number that is correct. Okay, this is important. Question number 31. Listen carefully, read carefully and slowly. Current account transaction for which withdrawal of foreign exchange is prohibited are contained in. Correct one is schedule 1, 2, 3, none of these. So question 31 correct answer is yes, Janvi, option C. What else? Namrata, question number 31 correct answer is Purvi. Janvi, do you want to rethink? Current account transaction prohibited list prescribed under which schedule 1, 2, 3, none of these. Purvi, okay. Pranav. Okay, so correct is schedule 1, right? Janvi, now it is clear. Okay, current account transaction for which approval of central government is required, that is prescribed under. Okay, can I tell you a simple logic for remember these schedules and all? Right, simple logic, right? No rocket science, right? First is schedule first talks about the prohibited transaction. Schedule 2 talks about the approval of central government transaction. Schedule 3 talks about the RBI approval transaction. Arey bhai, that is very simple. There is a single alphabet, that is 1. There is a 2 alphabet, that is 2, and there is a 3 alphabet, that is 3. I think so. This is clear, right? P is a single alphabet, so 1 is prescribed. Central government CG, 2 alphabet, so 2 is prescribed under schedule 2. RBI, 3 alphabets, so there is a schedule 3. I think so. Now it is clear. There is no rocket science. You need to think from other than C angle, right? Okay. So now it is clear. Okay, current account transaction for which I think so everyone understand this concept. Pranav, you need not to remember. You need not to focus on your mind. Okay. So 32 second is there, right? 33 approval of RBI. Now it is, well, schedule 3 is there, right? Okay. So these are resident. Okay. Acquisition or transfer of immovable property in India by a person resident outside India. Okay. Immovable property means balance sheet affecting item, and whatever is the balance sheet affecting item that will fall under capital account transaction, current account transaction, either A or B, none of these. Capital account transaction, current account transaction, either A or B, none of these. 48, perfect. Okay, so there is no different concept. Okay, now move towards the export of goods and services. These are the export of goods and services. These are the authorized provision wale concept. The RBI may revoke the authorization of authorized person that dash giving any opportunity of being heard if it is satisfied. If it is satisfied that such revocation is in public interest, if it is this involved, then there is no opportunity of being heard is provided. Right? So now go towards the penalty part. Okay. Now question number 55, read carefully. Question number 55, read carefully. What is the question? Mr. A obtained foreign exchange amounting to 2 lakh from an authorized person. What he has obtained? He obtained a foreign exchange 2 lakh rupees from an authorized person now. Okay. However, he spent a part of such foreign exchange for a prohibited current account transaction. Okay. Prohibited transaction. Consider the following statement. Statement number 1. Mr. A shall be liable to a penalty up to 5 times the amount involved in the contravention. Statement 2. If the amount involved in contravention is not quantifiable, then 5 lakh rupees. In case any contravention committed by Mr. A, Mr. A is a continuing one, he shall be liable for a penalty of 5,000 rupees per day. Okay, so all these 3 statements are correct. First option. B, any two out of statements are correct out of 3 statements. C, only 1 statement is correct. D, none of the statement is correct. Question 55, read carefully then answer. Question 55, read carefully then answer. Question number 55. See, third statement is correct. Pranav, okay. Means 1 statement is correct. Okay, Purvi. So answer is correct. And this is the correct statement, right? Pranav, correct. Okay. 56. Where any person contravenes any provision of the Act, rules, notification, directions, order issued under the Act, he shall be liable for a penalty up to the sum involved in the contravention if the amount of the contravention is dash, quantifiable, not quantifiable. 2 times is, 3 times is, 2 times is not, 3 times is not. So A, B, C, D, question number 56. Namrata, A, B, C, D, which is correct one? So 56, B is correct. Perfect. 3 times is. Okay. I think so. These are simplest one. Okay. Next question is 57. Where any person contravenes any provision of the Act, rules, regulation, notification, direction, order issued under the Act, he shall be liable to a penalty up to if the amount is contravention is quantifiable. So correct answer is Correct is 57. Correct is, which one is correct? 57. Which one is correct? Right? B is correct. 3 lakh and is quantified. Okay. Consequences of failure. Any penalty imposed on any person by AA shall be paid in full. Answer very quickly, right? Shall be Purvi, 2 lakh. If the amount now 57, answer is C. C is not correct. If you can see this should be the B answer. There is no, if the amount involved in the contravention is, right, 2 lakh rupees is not quantifiable and 3 lakh rupees is quantifiable. So okay, you can answer C also, B also. Yes, you can answer C also, B also, depend on, if you can B also, then B is correct, 3 lakh is quantifiable, and 2 is C also, 2 lakh is not quantifiable. Both are correct, right? B and C both are correct. Okay, 58th question. Any penalty imposed on any person by AA shall be paid in full within dash. From the day, you need to pay the penalty within how many days? 45 days, 90 days, 180, 120 days, 180 days. Question number 58. Question number 58. Question number 58. 58 option B. Yes, correct. Correct, Janvi. It's confusing. Which one, Purvi? 1 minute. 57. Yes. It's yes, correct, Purvi. It's not 3 times. It is mentioned as 3 lakh, right? So correct is C. Yes. So that is correct. Okay. I read Elsa 3 times. So 57 C is correct because it's 2 lakh is not. Under this, that is 3 lakh in 3 times. They have not prescribed 3 lakh. They have prescribed 3 times. So that is 57 C is correct. Purvi, now it's clear? Okay, perfect. 58, 90 is there. Okay, 59, if a person fails to make full payment of penalty imposed on it within the specified time, he shall be liable to an imprisonment up to dash. Purvi, you are correct, right? I read as a 3 times as a 3 lakh rupees. So he shall be liable for an imprisonment up to dash in case of demand raised in the penalty order exceed 1 crore rupees. What is the imprisonment, maximum imprisonment? A, 1 year, B, 2 years, C, 3 years, and D, 5 years. 59 C is there, perfect, 3 years. I think so. You all read only from charts and you can now. Okay, compounding we have not yet done. Okay, special director, please. Dash can be the compounding, like compounding authority, we have not yet done. Okay. Question number 65. Question number 65. Read carefully. And 65 talks about which part? Every adjudicating authority shall dash to dispose of the complaint within dash from the date of receipt of the complaint. First is be duty bound within 6 months. Second is endeavor 1 year. C, be duty bound 1 year. D, endeavor 6 months. Question C, answer is Janvi, it's B. The reason is very simple. There is no duty foundation. If you have not disposed of the complaint within 1 year, then AA can provide the reasons for same, right? There is no compulsion kind of thing. You need to complete anyhow within 1 year. So you need to complete within, right? If you fails to complete, then you need to provide the reasons. So B is correct. 65B is correct. A special director. Any person aggrieved by an order made by the AA, being an assistant director into enforcement or deputy director, may file an appeal with first special director appeals, second special director, third AT, and fourth High Court. With whom? With whom you can apply? With whom you can apply? 67. 67. Namrata, it means it is not compulsory. Yes, 67. Any person aggrieved by the 67B, okay, 67A, okay. So correct is 67A, right? There is no Pranav. There is no concept of special director under the concept of FEMA. Under the FEMA Act 1999, whole concept is special director appeal, SDA. Thirda. Okay. An appeal with a special director appeal can be filed within time period. Namrata, it's not B. 67A is correct. I have always used the word special director appeals. Special director, there is no concept of special director. Okay. 68. An appeal with the special director appeal can be filed within a period of 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. Question 68, option is B. Perfect, Janvi. Correct. 68 days. Okay, an appeal to High Court. Appeal to High Court 69. 69. What is the time limit within which we need to make an appeal to High Court against the decision of 80? 69. I can answer this one. No issues. 60 days. Okay. And any person aggrieved by any decision or order of 80 may file an appeal with the High Court on question of law. A is the correct one. I think so. Now this is clear, right? 69C is correct. 70A is correct. Only question of law, High Court can entertain the appeal. And 71, what is the maximum time? Further time can be provided. Right? What is the further time can be provided? If you have shown any sufficient reason, further time is plus 30 days, plus 45 days, plus 60, plus 90. $71. Correct is? Correct is? Please give some examples on question of law. Namrata, already I provided the example, question of law and question of fact. If you are, suppose for example, you applied in a appellate tribunal with 3 of your arguments, 3 of your proof, or 3 of your, what we can say, proof you can say, right? Now, before going to the High Court against the order of the 80, you are proving 4th thing. You are preparing a 4th paper before the High Court. So High Court will not entertain. That is a question of fact. Question of law means Supreme Court has provided any decision. There's a dispute between 2 High Courts. One High Court is providing decision A and one High Court is providing decision B. On that day, yesterday, Supreme Court decided in favor of A only. So that will be a settled principle now. So again, you can challenge on the basis of this, right? So 671C is there. This is correct. Okay. So we completed this part also. Now move towards the charts. Appeal to High Court. Okay, we completed this one. Now there's a small concepts. Section 36 talks about the Directorate of Enforcement. Central government shall establish a doctorate. This is not a doctorate. This is a Directorate of Enforcement with a director and such other officer who shall be called officers of enforcement for the purpose this act. Central government may authorize. Okay, Janvi, you have a doubt. Suppose there is a question of law, so the High Court admitted the appeal. But afterwards, some addition is also found in the fact. So whether addition in fact can be done as the case with the High Court. So you can, so what you are doing, so you can just file with the appeal with the High Court. So you are eligible to file appeal only on question of law. Then High Court will argue, accordingly you can present the documents, right? Then they will decide on the documents basis for the investigation part. But you can only entertain to file an appeal before the High Court only on question of law only. Question of fact, they will not entertain. Okay. Okay, the central government may authorize Directorate of Enforcement, Additional Directorate of Enforcement, Special Directorate of Enforcement, Deputy Directorate of Enforcement to appoint officers of enforcement below the rank of Assistant Directorate of Enforcement, right? So this is pure theoretical point. You need to appoint the other person also. You can cut this. Okay. Power of search and seizure under section 37(1). The Directorate of Enforcement and other officer of enforcement not below the rank of any assistant director shall take up for investigation the contravention referred to in. I think so. I need to upload these MCQs on the portal, right? These are not yet uploaded on MCQ. I will upload, no issue at all. Shall take up for investigation the contravention referred to in section number 13. Again, theoretical point. Presentation as to a document in certain cases, section 39, where any document is produced, furnished by any person or has been seized from the custody or control of any person, has been received from any place outside India in the course of investigation of any contravention committed under this. Such document is tendered in a proceeding under this act in evidence. Presume that signature belongs to the particular person. We can accept this document as belongs to the case only. Admit the document as evidence irrespective of the fact whether it is an unstamped document. So these all are small concepts, not as such important for examination part. Section 36 talks about the appointment of other officers of enforcement. Section 37, power of search and seizure not below the rank of assistant director, and production of documents. Okay, so there's a concept of compounding of offenses. Okay, so what is compounding of offenses? Now, compounding of offenses means you have committed any offense and there is a concept of fine. So you can pay an extra fine to the respective authority and you are free from this. You are free from this, what we can say, you are free from this contravention. Compounding authority. Person authorized by, from which part? MCQs are possible from which part? Purvi? Compounding authority, person. We will do MCQ part once we will complete this compounding part. Okay. Person authorized by section, person authorized by central government under section 15, that is class of officers of enforcement of directorate or class of officers of RBI, they can act as a compounding officer. So, means the enforcement officer is the compounding authority. RBI is also the compounding authority. Means there is a separation of power for compounding of act. Period of compounding of an offense. Any contravention committed under section 13. Any contravention committed under section 13 may be compounded within how many days? 180 days. If application is filed to Directorate of Enforcement or such other officer or Directorate of Enforcement officer of the RBI. In case of compounding, no proceeding further shall be initiated or continued against a person committing such contravention. Means you are free from the contravention in respect of contravention so compounded. Right? This is your compounding part, section number 15. Now go to the study material part, appeal to, this is your theoretical part. You need to appoint the officers. Section 37, 38 is there. And this is your documents, section 39 is there, right? Theoretical part. Okay, we need to do the compounding part, right? Okay, so compounding offenses, person authorized by central government under section 15. So they have prescribed section 39 MCQ. Yes, Purvi will do, no issue at all. Person authorized by central government under section 15, classes of officers of ED or classes of RBI can act as a compounding authority. Period of compounding, any contravention under section 13 may. Means contravention of provision, act, rules, circular, notification, regulations on an application made by the person committed such contravention be compounding within 180 days from the date of receipt of application. You need to file the application for compounding and the authority will compound within 180 days. By the Directorate of Enforcement, such other Directorate of Enforcement or officer of RBI. Means anyone can compound. In case of compounding, then no proceeding may be initiated. Where a contravention has been compounded, no proceeding or further proceeding as the case may be, shall be initiated or continued as the case may be against the person committing such contravention under this section in respect of the contravention so compounded. Okay, now move towards the MCQ part. Okay. Okay, the Directorate of Enforcement, question number 72. Yes, question number 72 is there. So can we start? Okay. What is the question? The Directorate of Enforcement shall consist of a dash and such other officers or class. You make best this boring, which student escape. Thank you, Purvi. The Directorate of Enforcement shall consist of dash and such other officers or class of officers as the central government may think fit, chairman. Now the question, now the provision revolve. Did we anytime use the word chairman? No. President? No. Director? Yes. None of these. So what is the correct one? 72 A, B, C, D. Right? ED consists of whom? President, director, chairman, none of these. Skipping of topic is not possible. Don't skip anything. So, which is one? 72 A, B, C, D. 72 Pranav Bhai, 72 C. Perfect. Okay, Mansa, perfect. Everyone is correct. Okay, next is 39. Presumption as to a document in certain cases. Where any document is seized from the custody. Okay. 39. Where any document is seized from the custody or control of any person under the Act and such document is tendered in any proceeding. Is tendered in any proceeding under the Act in evidence against him. The adjudicating authority shall presume dash the contrary is proved the truth of content of such document. 73. 73. The correct answer is unless. Unless the contrary is proved the truth of the content of such document. 74. Okay. Again, this is contravention by company. We will go through this one. No issue that. Okay. So these are the provisions. Okay. So this is our compounding part. Now go toward the last of this one. Suspension of operation of this act, government can, in the public interest, can suspend any provision. Any provision, the power belongs to the central government only. For this, you need to take the approval of parliament, both the houses of parliament. And what this provision says, this provision talks about whenever the parliament is in session for 30 days, you need to put the resolution for their approval. Whether they are in for 30 days in for one session or for 2 or consecutive session, that is altogether different thing. And for whenever you see any this type of topic that is called contravention by company, always you will find two paragraphs. First paragraph belongs to the offenses committed by company. Second belongs to the offenses committed by any officer. Director, manager, secretary, then they are also liable. Contravention of company always consists of two parts: death, insolvency in certain cases, any right, obligation, liability, proceeding, appeal arising in relation to the provision of section 13 shall not abate, means that proceeding will not abate by reason of death, insolvency of the person liable under this section, and upon such death, insolvency, such right, obligation shall devolve on the LR. Don't involve your emotions like Sharma ji nahi rahe, ab unka beta hoga kya? Yes. Of such person or the official receiver or the official assignee, as the case may be, law will not spare you for the contravention of FEMA, provided that, and this is the basic concept. In all of the act, LR will be liable up to the extent of the amount or the assets he received from the deceased person. He will not liable to pay from his pocket, provided that a LR of the deceased shall be liable only to the extent of inheritance or estate of the deceased. I think so. 63 is also complete. Okay, and there is a bar legal proceeding. Okay, that no suit, prosecution, legal proceeding shall lag in central government, RBI, any officer of government or RBI. This will not perform, right? If they are doing this function. Okay, so that is complete. I think so. Is there any doubt till this concept? Then we will go towards our next concept, that is called import of goods and services. And that will fall behind the current account transaction. That is ECV, we need to do later on. Right, so here it is import of goods and services. That is, here it is this, and this. There's a topic called import of goods and services. Right, this is the last topic of today. So can we start the import of goods and services? If yes, can we start import of goods and services? Sir, please, you can Zoom. It's actually I'm traveling, that's why I'm attending the. Okay. Extraordinary person, extraordinary bacha. Okay, no issues. So we are going to start the topic so-called import of goods and services. Let's start. Namrata, now it is okay, right? Okay, now start. Now we are going to start the import of goods and services. Now, import of goods and services means a person resident in India, Indian person wants to import something from outside India, either in the form of goods or he is availing any kind of services from outside India, right? Now, if a person is availing any services from outside India, if a person, suppose for example, I am in Bangalore. Now, I want to import certain machinery from USA, right? So that is import of goods. And for importing these goods, there is a boundary fixed by the RBI. Whatever is entering into India, you need to take the approval of RBI, because what we will do, so we will sell the rupees to RBI, and in return RBI will provide a dollar, and we can make a payment of dollar to the USA party. Means we need to take the dollar from the RBI, right? RBI will ask, what is the purpose behind this dollar? So we will say we are going to import the goods or machinery, as the case may be. So RBI will keep a check on this one. Like, you are importing something, and for this you are demanding the foreign exchange. So now the RBI will function as a regulation part, right? So they require some documents, machinery document, custom clearance documents, and they have developed a system. So under this, you need to make the entry, you need to furnish the information documents, and you are going to pay to the USA party. So you need to use some account, or you can pay via check, or you can use the credit card, right? So these all points will fall under this concept of import of goods and services. Maybe you need authorized dealer help for the purpose of furnishing guarantee to outsider, because authorized outsider can rely on AD, but he cannot rely on Mr. B, the person who is sitting in the Bangalore only, right? So you can take the help of AD for the purpose of furnishing any kind of guarantee to outsider with respect to payment default, right? So that whole concept we need to remember in the concept of import of goods and services, right? Now, start. Import of goods and services, the authority who is authorized for this one, it is called Director General of Foreign Trade. First of all, import of goods and services is governed by Section 5 along with the current account transaction rules. Now, import trade is regulated by DGFT. DGFT means he is working under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Commerce, Government of India, CA Piyush Goyal ji, right? That department belongs to him only, right? So the DGFT is working under him. So the DGFT is the authority who is doing or clearing the concept of import of goods and services with respect to foreign payments. Now, so for this, DGFT has authorized Category 1 bank. Now, what is Category 1 bank? Means state bank. All commercial banks will fall under this concept of Category 1 bank. Should ensure that import into India are in conformity with foreign trade policy, foreign exchange management, current account transaction directions issued by the RBI. AD1 bank should ensure that whether you are complying with the FTP, whether you are complying the current account transaction rules or RBI directions, right? So this is your first chart. This is your first chart of introduction. Second point, general guidelines for import. Rules or regulations we need to follow are to be followed by AD while overtaking import payment transaction on behalf of client. AD must particularly adhere to KYC guidelines issued by the RBI. That responsibility cast on AD. You need to check each and everything. Remittance for import payment. We need to withdraw foreign exchange from authorized dealer. So then only we can remit to outside person. AD may allow remittance for making payment for imports after ensuring that all requisite details are made available by importer, and remittance is for bona fide trade transaction. You are not going to purchase a lottery band lottery ticket of this kind magazine. You should not do any kind of prohibited transaction. You need to do the bona fide. For the purpose you withdraw the foreign exchange, you should use that purpose only. I think so. First and second point. First point talks about the introduction part, and second point talks about the general guidelines for import. That both the points are clear. Is there any doubt? Let me know. So under this first chart, what is important? Section 5, current account transaction is important. DGFT is the authority. AD category 1 bank will ensure that they needs to comply all the guidelines with respect to remittance. I think so. First chart is complete. Is there any doubt? Let me know. First chart is complete. Yes or no? First chart is complete. Yes or no? First chart is complete. Is there any doubt in first chart? Then we can move towards the second one. Then it covers an open network for digital commerce ONDC. Does it cover an open network for? Mansa, please elaborate more for. Open network for digital commerce means what? So that is your first point. This is the second point. Now, we cast an obligation on purchaser. Purchaser means person resident in India. Purchaser of foreign exchange means person resident in India. Right? We cast certain duties on this. First point, that whatever amount you are withdrawing as a foreign exchange, you should use for the purpose for which you withdraw this amount. It should be utilized for the purpose mentioned in declaration. Declaration section 7. By him to the AD and for any other purpose which is permissible under the Act, rules, regulation. You need to use that foreign exchange for that purpose only. Now, there's a documentation part. AD should ensure that importer furnishes evidence of import, as in there is a system, IDPMS, import data processing and monitoring system. Basically, that system is developed by the authority along with the custom authorities so that they can, whatever documents they require, they can put in this system only. Postal appraisal form, custom assessment certificate, CAC, and satisfy himself that goods equivalent to the value of remittance have been imported. Suppose, for example, you remitted, you want 10,000 USD and you are importing something which worth rupees, worth $1,000. So that is not clear. So you need $10,000 value. AD should ensure that all import remittance outstanding on the notified date of IDPS are uploaded in IDPMS. Now, what is IDPMS? So we can refer this short note, IDPMS, right? So IDPMS refers to Import Data Processing Monitoring System, RBI, constituted a working group which includes FED, DGFT, SEZ, FIDI, and selected authorized dealer to frame a comprehensive IT system. They all collectively develop a comprehensive IT system. What this purpose? To facilitate efficient processing of all import transaction and effective monitoring thereof. The working group has recommended development of robust and effective IT system that is called as IDPMS. Right? So that prescribes this information. So that is overall system. Third point, a person resident in India. No, they have developed a new system, IDPMS, right? They are not doing that import of exchange that is not allowed from ONDC platform. They can use by the IDPMS only. Foreign Exchange Authority. Namrata. Okay, third point. A PRI may make payment for import of goods in Forex through, you need to pay in the foreign exchange. Now, person resident in India needs to make a payment to outside, like $10,000. What are the modes of payment? So you can use the international card or international credit card, debit card. You can servicing bank in India against a charge slip signed by the importer. So you can import, you can use any of the payment type, or you can use as prescribed by the RBI, provided that import is in conformity with foreign trade policy. Right? Fourth point, a PRI means person resident in India may also make payment in. You can make in rupees payment also. In rupees for meeting expenses of boarding, lodging, services related thereto, travel to or from within India. Suppose you ordered some machinery, you imported some machinery, and for the installation of this machinery, one person from the company came to India. And for this person, you booked a hotel, you booked a travel, food, each and everything. So you can make the payment in rupees also for the purpose, for this purpose. By means of cross check or draft, if you are purchasing gold or silver imported, you need to use the cross check and cross demand draft. Now, you are making payment of sitting fees, commission, remuneration, traveling expenses within India, of whom a company or a resident in India may make payment in rupees to a non-whole-time director. Any person who is visiting to India, who is a resident outside India, but he is visiting to India for company work. And for this, you are paying the rupees payment. So that is allowed, right? As per SHA resolution, shareholder agreement, board resolution, MOA, AOA, that is allowed. So that is your point number third, obligation of purchaser of foreign exchange. Point number third is complete. Point number third is complete or not? Point number third is complete or not? Is there any problem in any of the third point? First point talks about the declaration part. Second point talks about the IDPMS data entry type. Third, payment mode. And fourth, other payment models. Okay, so this is your third point. Fourth point, what is the time limit for settlement of import payment? So for generally it is 6 months. For generally it is 6 months. Give me only 1 minute for okay. So what is the normal time limit? So time limit is 6 months, right? What is the normal time limit? So normal time limit is 6 months, and the 6 month will start from the date of shipment. This is the concept, right? This is the concept, right? Shipment will start from the date of its shipment. 6 months will start from the date of this. So this is the normal import time. You need to pay the amount to the outsider person within 6 months from the date of shipment, except in cases where amount are withheld towards guarantee performance, etc. AD may permit delayed settlement of import dues, dues to any trade dispute, financial difficulty, etc. Means you can pay little bit later on also. For example, there is a performance guarantee. Performance guarantee means I imported some machine from outside India, and that person guaranteed that machine will run on a 95% capacity irrespective of weather condition. I need to check that whether the machine is performing or not. So for this purpose, I withhold 20% payment of this import payment to the outsider. So that is allowed, right? And AD may permit delayed settlement of import dues, dues to disputes, financial difficulty. However, you need to pay for the interest, if any, on such delayed payment. Maximum overdue interest allowed for 3 years from the date of shipment. Means you want to pay in 2003, so maximum you can go back by 2020, right? That is 3 years. Means the interest is not paid for more than 3 years. This is important, right? guidelines are mentioned in the circular for ECB and trade credits may be allowed. So for normal 6-month interest maximum 3 year, for DPA deferred payment agreement that is allowed for maximum 3 years. Okay, so let's go to the module part. Okay, so this is your general guidelines. This is your remittance for payment import. This is your obligation, 4 points of obligation, mode of payment, other mode of payment, cross check in case of diamond, gold and silver, right? Non-resident full-time director, import, time limit for normal import 6 months, interest maximum 3 years, and delayed, this is prescribed as 5, so you can cut down and mention the 3 years. DPA is correct, right? You can cut down that in the module part, that is not 5 years, that is 3 years. As amended by RBI in this recent circular issued in November 22. I think so. Now this is clear, right? This is clear till this page. This is clear. Till this page, this is clear. Till this page, this is clear. Till this page. Right? For DPA, you can rectify in the module that is not 5 years, that is 3 years, right? So in charts, that is correct, right? 3 years. Okay, perfect. Okay, next is. So for obligation, there are 4 points. For payment time limit, there are 2 points, and there are 3 time limit. First is 6 months, interest maximum 3 years, 3 years back, and DPA agreement maximum for 3 years. Okay. Next is extension of time. Limit of extension. AD can consider granting extension of time for settlement of imports dues up to a period of 6 months at a time, maximum up to 3 years. Means you will get a time limit of extension plus 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, maximum 3 years, not more than that. You will not get a blanket time of 3 years. Irrespective of the invoice value for delay on account of dispute about quantity, quality, non-fulfillment of terms of contract, financial difficulty, cases where importer has filed suit against the seller. So law has provided you will get extension of time, 6 month duration you will get, maximum up to means 6 times means 2 6 times you will get the 6 month extension. In case where sector specific guidelines have been issued by the RBI for extension, rough cut and polished diamond, the same will be applicable. Circumstances while granting extension of time, AD must ensure that first point, import transactions covered by invoices are not under investigation by ED or CBI. This is the important point. If you imported something that is illegal, then there is a problem part, right? So first point is like import transaction for which you are coming for extension part, that is not under the investigation by ED or CBI. While considering extension beyond 1 year from the date of remittance, the total outstanding of importer does not exceed 1 million USD or 10% of average import remittance during 2 preceding financial year, whichever is lower, that more should not be outstanding amount, right? Means after 2 extension of 6 months, that amount should not exceed more than this amount. Where extension of time has been granted by AD, the date up to which the extension has been granted may be indicated in remark column. He will provide the extended time. Cases not covered by above instructions or beyond the above limit may be referred to the concerned regional office of RBI. The above extension period shall be reported in the particular system as per the message bill of entry extension, BOE custom. You can remember custom section 46, right? And the date up to which extension is granted will be indicated extension date column. Bill of entry is extended along with the extension date column, right? So this is your extension part. Fifth point. This is your extension part. This is your extension part. I think so. Till there is no problem. Okay. Next is import of foreign exchange Indian rupees, except as otherwise provided. Where it is. Okay. Extension of time. Okay. Import of means you are importing import of foreign exchange and Indian rupees. Except as, so in this chapter there are many limits and how we can learn. Janvi, you need to what you need to do. You need to divide each and for example. Okay, we will do solution of your question after 15 minutes. Okay, remind one more thing. Okay, import of foreign exchange and Indian rupees. Then I will let you know how to learn this FEMA, how to retain them in the memory. Except as otherwise provided in the regulation, no person shall, without or general permission of RBI, import or bring into India any foreign currency because you are regulated by FEMA. RBI may allow a person to bring subject to the currency as RBI fit. Import of foreign exchange into India. So a person may send into India without limit any foreign exchange. That is called foreign exchange. In any form other than currency notes, banknote, traveler check, bring into India from any place outside India without limit. Such foreign exchange other than unused notes, subject to the condition that person makes a declaration to custom authorities on arrival in custom airport. Right? Provided that it shall not be necessary to make declaration if the amount does not exceed USD 10,000. $10,000, there is no declaration required. Equivalent or the aggregate value of foreign currency notes, cash portion, along with brought in by such person at one time, does not exceed USD 5,000 or its equivalent. Right? So that is allowed up to $10,000. There is no need of declaration. More than $10,000, there is a need of declaration. And cash portion not exceeding $5,000 or equivalent. So that is your seventh point. Now, import of Indian currency and Indian currency. So law has prescribed any person who has gone out of India on a temporary visit. You can bring that foreign exchange, you can bring Indian currency in India at the time of return from any place outside India, except Nepal and Bhutan, currency notes of government of India, 2000 ka note, RBI notes up to an amount not exceeding 25,000. And if you are bringing such amount from Nepal and Bhutan, then 2000 ka note mein 100 rupees note is applicable. Currency denomination is 100 rupees. You can bring any amount subject to, you need to take in a 100 rupees note only from Nepal and Bhutan. Nepal, Bhutan, there is no such restrictions of amount to be sir, this limit of 10,000 for individual person, for a whole, no, individual. Issuance of guarantee by an AD. Now, guarantee to whom? Guarantees provided by AC on behalf of person resident in India to person resident outside India. Right? Who is providing the guarantee? AD. Pranav, your doubt is clear, right? AD is providing the guarantee on behalf of PRI to PROI. And AD may give a guarantee in respect of intent, obligation, other liability incurred by PRI and owned to PROI on any as an importer in respect of import on a deferred payment terms. So, like bank AD. Everything's perfect, right? Okay. Second point. Second point is an authorized dealer may give guarantee, letter of undertaking, letter of comfort, LOC, in favor of a debt which is incurred by PRI and which owes to the PROI. Owned to the PROI, overseas supplier of goods, banks, financial institution for import of goods as permitted under FTP RBI guidelines. Third point, an AD may, in the ordinary course of business, give a guarantee in favor of non-resident service provider on behalf of resident customer who is service importer. And means first 2 point talks about the good, third point talks about the service part. An AD may, subject to the direction issued by the RBI, permit a PRI to issue corporate guarantee in favor of overseas lessor for financing import through over operating lease, effective in conformity with the FTP. Now, what is the limit? Limit of guarantee is important. Service importer. When a service importer is other than PSU, other than public sector company or department or undertaking of government, no guarantee for an amount exceeding, what is the amount? 5 lakh USD. If where the service importer is a public sector undertaking or no department undertaking of government of India, means there's a government involved, there's a public involved. Then guarantee amount, no guarantee for an amount exceeding 1 lakh USD or its equivalent shall be issued without the approval of Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So for government, that is 5 lakh USD. For non-government, we public, so there is a limit of 1 lakh USD. 1 lakh USD multiplied by 82 or 80 rupees Indian currency. Now you can imagine. Right? So that is your concept of import of goods and services. In the study material also, that is extension of time, same concept, 6 months. Circumstances, the extension cannot be granted if it is conducted by any investigation by CBI or ED. While considering extension beyond 1 year from the date of shipment, the total outstanding of the importer does not exceed USD 1 million or 10% of the average import remittance during the preceding 2 financial year. Right. So this is your overall concept of import of goods and services. So is there any doubt in import of goods and services? Let me know. Any point. We have covered altogether same as referred in charts. If you have any doubt, any point, any sub point or anything else with respect to import of goods and services, let me know. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt with respect to import of goods and services? Okay, clear. Just we have to refer again and again, then it will be written in mind. Perfect. Okay. So now there is a doubt from Janvi. Sir, there are too many limits. Janvi, do one thing. There is an act called FEMA, right? So what you can do, you can divide this FEMA into 5 parts. So first part starts from chart 1 to current account transaction. right? First part will start from first chart to current account transaction, including PRII, because examiner can ask a question from this part only. Second part, you need to divide the FEMA, then only you can retain, otherwise you can't. Second is, you can do one thing, you can the appeal part, means adjudication part, right? From section 15 to High Court, Supreme Court appeal. This is your different part, so you can remember this part differently. Third is import of goods, section 5. Just now we completed. Fourth is export of goods, section 7. We completed already. And last is ECB. Now what happened? So if you divided the whole topic of FEMA in 5 parts, what will be your relaxation? You can do this part very comfortably, I can assure you. You can this part also very comfortably. You can completely this part also, and this part also. If you can divide this FEMA into 5 parts, then only you can complete this part very comfortably. Otherwise, you will be say like whatever examiner can ask max to max 10 number questions, so you can just leave this FEMA. No, that you can't do this thing, right? You can just divide the whole part of FEMA into 5 parts and just complete one part single on a single day. So along with this, you can complete this FEMA part. I think so. Now your doubt is clear, Janvi, right? And for limits, there are limits differently, so you need to remember again and again. Okay, so this is complete. This is complete. Now go to some questions of FEMA. That is already uploaded on our ICAI portal, right? Okay. So there is a question of RTP and MCQs, previous past examination question. The RBI of India issued certain directions to Dream Construction Limited, an authorized person under the FEMA, to file certain returns. The company failed to file the said returns. Decide as to what penal provision are applicable against the said authorized person under the Act. Section 11 will apply. We can revoke and accordingly we can import. This is a pure theoretical question. So section 11 will applicable, right? I think so. First question, there is no such doubt. First question belongs to penalty part on AP in case of default. First question, is there any problem? First question, is there any problem? That PDF is already uploaded on portal. MCQ I need to upload. Okay, Urvi. Second, Forex Dealer Limited is an authorized person within the meaning of Foreign Exchange Management 1999. Reserve Bank of India issued certain directions to said foreign person to file certain return which is yet to be filed, which it fails to file. You are required to state the penalty provision, same concept. Okay, and this is RBIR. Okay. The Reserve Bank of India receives a complaint that authorized person has submitted incorrect information to the RBI in respect of receipt and utilization of foreign exchange. Again, there is a default by RBI. Now, B point is related to current account crack. So first one, referring the provision of FEMA 1999, state the kind of approval required for the following transaction. Okay. No, these were means question number 1, 2, 3. These are simple one. That's why I allowed 2 question, right? Okay. So this is your question. B question. M requires USD 5,000 for remittance toward hiring charges of transponder. So what kind of approval required for B? First question. B1. Hiring charges of transponder. B1. What kind of approval is required by M? M require USD 5,000 for remittance toward hiring charges of transponder. So, which state the approval required? Which approval is required? Or this is a prohibited transaction? Or this is a central government approval? Okay. What about others? Which approval is required? Which approval is required? Central government approval. No, Janvi, that is not prohibited. That prescribes under Schedule 2, you need to take the approval of central government. No, Namrata, that is not prohibited. When examiner asks you, state the kind of approval, how can say that is prohibited? This is the second form to collect the, maybe there may be a clue kind of thing, right? So there can be approval from CG or RBI because question specifically, question does not ask that fall under which schedule. It means prohibited is excluded from this one. Now, next may be of this category. P requires USD 2,000 for a payment related to callback services of telephone. Okay, so now for second question, P requires USD 2,000. So he will get the $2,000 or not? He will get $2,000 or not? He will get $2,000 or not? In second, callback services is prohibited perfectly. This is prohibited transaction. You will not get. In this case, central government approval is required, right? Perfectly. So this is your answer. Callback services, that is prohibited. Okay. Now, Mr. D has been arrested at a Chennai airport in connection with certain offenses under the FEMA. Double A imposed a fine. November 20 examination question, right? The double A imposed a fine of 5 lakh on him. In order to secure the penalty, double A direct the officials to confiscate the deposit of 10 lakh laying in the account of D, maintained as a nationalized bank in New Delhi. Comment upon the validity of the confiscation proposal of the double A. Double A proposal is correct or not? Comment on the validity of the confiscation proposal of double A for the levy of penalty. Whether he can confiscate or not. Remember the other consequences after double A chart on the right hand side of the chart. First point is confiscate the currency. Second point is he can brought back to India or retain outside India as per the RBI direction, right? Question number 4. I think so that is clear. So in the present case, the double A has a levy of penalty 5 lakh rupees may if things fit in addition to the penalty which he may impose for direct that any currency, security, any other money or property in respect of which the contravention takes place shall be confiscated to the central government. Hence, जो बंदे ने करा वो कहीं सही करा, right? In view of this power, the AA can confiscate a deposit of 10 lakh during the National Bank in New Delhi. Okay. Mr. X, an Indian national, has failed to realize and repatriate foreign exchange worth more than 2 crores. Mr. X has realized that he committed a contravention. Ab kya hoga? What will happen for the said offenses? Simple. There is a offending party. There is a contravention committed by Mr. X. Right. Whatever amount you earn, you need to realize within 180 days in the India part. But if the contravention is committed, he wants to compound such offenses. Yes, he can do so. And if that offense is compounded, then there is no initiation of further proceeding, right? No contravention shall be compounded unless the amount involved in such contravention is quantifiable. Where the amount has been compounded, no proceeding can continue or be initiated against the person in respect of the contravention so compounded. Question number 6. Explain available with the said authority to pass order imposing penalty, enforce the same in relation to the violation of any provision of FEMA by Mr. Dubious, a resident in India. How will you determine whether a particular business unit, like a factory or office, is a PRII? Same concept, controlled by or is situated by? Okay. There is a second question. Printex Computer is a Singapore-based company having several business units all over the world. It has a unit for manufacturing computer with its headquarters in Pune. Okay. It has a branch at Dubai, which is controlled by the headquarters in Pune. So what is the status of Pune unit and Dubai branch? Now tell me, what is the status of Dubai branch and Pune branch, Pune unit? Whether they are a PRII or PROI. So what is the status? Printex Computer. Yes, both PRII because Pune situated in India, Dubai controlled by a person owned situated in India. So both are PRII. I think so. Now this is clear. Okay. Okay. Question number 7. Indian import engaged in the export of software product to US, one party in US to whom the company exports certain product fails to pay the amount due for this export, resulting into non-repatriation of amount to India. The adjudicating authority, on coming to know about this, levied a penalty on Indian Export Limited, PR in both cases. Good. Another provision of FEMA, the company seeks advice to which authority to whom it also state the time limit within which appeal can be lodged. Right? Now, question number 7. What is the correct answer? So they need to make an appeal. What is the time limit? What is the time limit within which they can make an appeal? They can make an now if you can go through the question, they have not specified whether AA is acting in the capacity of assistant or deputy director. So we need to make any assumption. So if the AA is acting, AA is ordered in the capacity of assistant directorate of enforcement or deputy director of enforcement. In that case, what will happen? So you need to take, you can make an appeal to the special director appeals. Otherwise, you can directly make to the AT. And time limit is 45 days. Perfect. SDA 45 days. Right? All are clear. Okay, next question. Question number 8. A person aggrieved by an order made by the SDA desires to file an appeal against the order to AT, but the time period of limitation of 45 days expired. Now, advise him. Advise him. 45 days expired. Question number 8. Question number 8. 45 days expired. Now, what are the what you can advise to that person? Question number 8. Yes, he can make an extension. He has a sufficient reason, then they can allow it, right? Okay, for additional remittance, Mr. T. Raghava has secured admission in a reputed recognized university in Germany for the study of higher and technical education outside India. After arrival in Germany, he got ill and want medical treatment facility in a reputed German hospital. He desires to apply to the government of India for availing the additional remittance beyond the limit approved for the foreign currency facility. He has already enjoyed the permitted facility of foreign exchange for studies abroad for the said financial year. Now, decide the following. First question. Now, both are important, right? First question you need to answer. As an individual, to what extent Mr. T. Raghava may avail foreign exchange facility for higher and technical study in Germany? Can Mr. T avail the facility of additional remittance beyond the limit for medical treatment? What is the correct answer? Perfect, Pranav. Right? So what is the correct answer? First and second. Limit for application. As an individual, to what extent T. Raghava may avail foreign exchange facility? Answer is 2.5 lakh dollars, right? Allowed. And beyond this amount, you need to take the approval of RBI. Simple. I think so. Question 9 is clear. Question 9 is clear. Question 9 is clear. Dollar 2 lakh, no, this is a 2.5 lakh dollars. Purvi, 2.5 lakh. Right? Now it is clear. Okay. Next is Life Since Limited, a $1 billion Indian company wishes to create a chair and reputed university in the US. He can have foreign exchange but can be extended. Yes, clear. Got it. Good. Oh, is such chair creation permissible? Remember, Schedule 3, current account transaction, facilities other than individual. This is the concept. What is the maximum amount that can be denoted for such chair? Any formalities to be complied with, right? Yeah, this is your concept. That is permissible or not permissible? That is permissible. Okay, you all can tell me. Sir, it is not covered under the remittance scheme. Janvi, for remittance scheme, you are talking about this T. Raghava question, right? 2.5 lakh, he can take without the approval. Otherwise, he need to take the approval, right? So first is that is permissible. What is the maximum amount? Maximum amount is $50 lakh or 3 years or of your average earning, 1% of this. Right? Maximum amount that can be 1% of the previous 3 years earning or USD 50 lakh dollars, whichever is less without approval of RBI. This is your question. And last in origin, he wants to acquire a farmhouse in Munnar, Kerala, to make invest in KLG Nidhi company. Right now, you can recall these all are prohibited transaction. Right, these all are prohibited transaction. So acquisition of farmhouse not allowed. Investment in Nidhi company not allowed. Making investment in Rose India Limited, that is also prohibited in real estate. From making investment in India in any form, in any company, partnership or proprietorship, any entity, whether incorporated or not, which is engaged or proposed to any real estate business or construction of farmhouse. However, the development of township shall not be included in the real estate business. If they are developing the township, then that is outside this one. This formed for the development of township. So that is allowed. I think so. Whole questions are completed along with the MCQs, along with the concepts of FEMA, except ECB. I think so. From my side, that's all for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask it out. We completed MCQs, practical questions, study material part, from charts, each and everything. If you have any doubts, let me know. Thank you, Purvi. Any other doubts? Okay. So we can close the session and next class on 29th of May. So we will complete the ECB portion in a full depth. Right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Pranav, question clear. Thank you.